Ahmad Gardner is the #1 cornerback in the 2022 NFL Draft. The 6'3" corner out of Cincinnati is a long and lengthy football player who has excellent covering abilities. He does a very good job at getting his hands on wide receivers and disrupting routes. He's really instinctive and has a great football IQ. Let's jump right into the tape. Look, we're going to get fully into the tape of Gardner because the dude is really special and he has the talent to be a top 4 or 5 pick. Now, one of the most important tapes that we have of Gardner is his very final game in college, the game against Alabama, the game where he took on probably the best team over the course of his career, because it's not really fair to watch him against Murray State or Austin Peay or Connecticut, because those teams don't have a ton of NFL players. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus in on some of his traits and qualities that I think will translate into the league. And then we're going to look thoroughly into that Alabama tape. Like, I'm going to show you guys at least 15 plays in that Alabama tape. But we'll do that a little bit later on. First and foremost, let's just get into some of the things that are going to make him an excellent player at the next level. Most people agree that Ahmad Gardner's best ability is his man coverage. His ability to press a wide receiver, stick to that receiver, and really just shut him down. And this is such a great example of exactly the type of stuff he does. The quarterback believes that he has an open receiver running a dig route, and he takes that shot, he takes that opportunity. And there Gardner is to break the pass up. The thing that's impressive to me is that this wide receiver is going to release to the outside and then try to come back to the inside to run this dig route. At no point does Gardner, when the receiver takes this initial outstep, fall or twitch or turn to the wrong side. He's going to stay square and just read those hips of this wide receiver. When the receiver finally gets out of that initial step to the left and tries to get upfield, Gardner gets his hands on the receiver, disrupts the route, and then when the receiver makes his break, Gardner's all over it. I mean, there is literally no room for the quarterback to throw it. The quarterback just throws it to get the ball out. But Gardner's all over it and breaks the pass up. This is a superstar cornerback. One of the unique things with Gardner is the fact that he pretty much moves all over the field. He plays right corner, left corner, slot corner. It really doesn't matter where he lines up. He will shut down whoever he lines up against. His technique honestly is flawless. Like, the way he plays cornerback is super impressive. Now, on this play right here, you're going to see the quarterback doesn't even test him. But when you watch the technique, watch the wide receiver. He's going to try to swat Gardner's hands down because he knows he's going to get pressed. If you look closely, the wide receiver gets that right hand up, he swats down, and that swat does absolutely nothing. You know, sometimes cornerbacks will try to press, the receiver will swat, and the cornerback gets off balance. But that doesn't happen here. As he swats, the corner does not lean, he does not do anything, but he stays on top of the wide receiver. He basically runs the receiver's route for him. And there's literally no separation here for the wide receiver. Now, if you guys watch highlights of Gardner, you'll see about the same 10 to 15 plays. He'll break a pass up here or there. He'll intercept the pass here or there. But what you don't see is you don't see the thousands of snaps where he covers and he's just never tested, like the snap I just showed you guys. Because this is what you see when you put the tape on. Check this play out right here. You're going to get the receiver who is going to try to run a dig route, and he is the #1 option for this quarterback. Unfortunately, the quarterback didn't realize that it was Gardner covering number 10, and Gardner pretty much run the route for this wide receiver. I mean, look at this. There's absolutely nowhere for the quarterback to go. And these are the types of things, once again, there's no statistic or highlight for this. Pro Football Focus does measure these type of statistics, but truth be told, unless you put the tape on yourself, you will not realize the impact that Gardner has, the impact that he had for Cincinnati. One of the reasons why Cincinnati was so good was because of him, because of the fact that what he would do is cover one-on-one and allow that safety to go and bracket someone on the opposite side of the field. And that allowed this defense to take shots, to blitz, to do things that generally you can't do unless you have top-tier cornerbacks. Now, I've spoken to some NFL scouts and they all pretty much tell me the same thing. If Gardner gets his hands on you, he is going to disrupt your route. And that's exactly what he does on this play right here. He's going to get his hands on this wide receiver. The wide receiver is going to try to break, try to stem him. It doesn't work. Gardner's just big, powerful, long, lengthy. Uses that to his advantage. He gets his hands on this wide receiver and really disrupts the timing and rhythm of this route. This is a fantastic job. And he basically runs stride for stride, and he does this all the freaking time. Now, here's the thing. I can show you guys hundreds of these plays where he just shuts people down. And a lot of the time, people will say, well, is he really playing any real competition? These are average players that he's playing. Well, we're going to jump into the Alabama tape in just a second. And you guys can see that he pretty much did this against Alabama as well. I mean, look at this. He's running stride for stride with this wide receiver. And he does this game in and game out. When he gets his hands on you, it's game over. Another trait that I really like when it comes to this young corner is his ability to recognize when he needs to get off his block, when he needs to help defend the run. And this is one of the things he does well. Now, he's not the best tackler, but he does understand the game. He does understand when he needs to step up and make the play. Now, I will say this. It's nice that he gets off the player here after he, recognizes the play. But the fact that this running back carries him for an additional yard or two, this isn't an NFL running back, does kind of concern me a little bit. Now, I will say this. He's still young. He's going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. But he still understands the game of football, and these are some of the plays that I kind of see when I watch his tape. Now, he's a really good blitzer. He does a good job disguising his blitzes, and he comes off the edge, and he gets that pressure on quarterbacks. Now, what I actually want to do at this point is I want to actually just break down some of the tape from the Alabama game. Now, keep this in mind as we kind of go through these plays. All of these plays go in order from the beginning to the end of the game. And I just took a handful of clips that I've watched Gardner on tape, and he does a good job throughout these plays. Throughout these snaps, there's various things that I like. There's some things I think he needs to work on a little bit. Here's a good example of something I absolutely need to see him improve on. And if you guys missed it, let me just back it up here. Now, he does a good job helping out, but when you guys watch this play, right? When you guys watch this play and he takes on this tight end, notice as the tight end, and keep in mind, this is a pretty small tight end. Notice when this tight end throws this punch, he's going to really push back Gardner. As the punch comes in, he's going to get his hands to the inside of Gardner. And look at this. Gardner gets moved. He gets thrown about a yard and he gets pushed back. Now, this is the difference between NFL players and non-NFL players. The power, the strength that this tight end has, this guy's going to likely be in the NFL. That's a good play because he still gets in there. But these are some of the smaller things that I need to see him improve on. He needs to get stronger. He needs to be able to take on the block a little bit better on. Again, not a terrible job from the scheme perspective, but the fact that he gets tossed so far back by number 81, that is still a bit concerning right there. Just improve strength just a little bit. But let's go ahead and get into the next rep. Now, you guys have already seen this clip right here, but the thing I like about this play, keep in mind this is a touchdown. The thing I like about this play is it's not a touchdown on Sauce. Right, Sauce has to shut down. This is a great play right there. Look at how he's going to run with this wide receiver. Now, he doesn't punch, right? Notice there is a difference here. He's not going to press. Instead, he's going to just turn and run with the wide receiver. He's not able to really get his hands on him and actually give him that press. But he does kind of get his hands on him here, and he does kind of just continue running with him. But notice how there's zero separation between him and number 7. And that too, he has his eyes looking back at the quarterback to see if the ball is coming. Now, of course, this is a touchdown regardless. But I do like the fact that it's not a touchdown on his guy. And this is against Alabama, right? This isn't Tulsa or Murray State or one of these other teams. This is Alabama that he's doing this against. And there's at least 10 more clips that I'm going to show you guys. Let's get into the next one. Gardner is going to be in a man-to-man situation at the top of your screen. One of the things that I mentioned a little bit earlier on is the fact that he doesn't get a ton of help. And that kind of stayed true even in this Alabama game. As you're going to see on this play, he presses the receiver and he sticks to the receiver. Now, obviously, this is a big gain to a different player. But when you look at Gardner at the top of your screen, it's interesting because he's going to get his hands on this receiver and just continue to run with this guy, stride for stride. And I love the fact that he opens up and he's going to allow the receiver to the inside. He's baiting this receiver. If you guys watch the feet of Gardner, that left foot is going to be the first foot that gets picked up. That left foot comes back, which means Gardner's inviting the receiver to the inside, which is exactly what he wants. Now, a better receiver, a more polished receiver, would actually hit this to the inside and then maybe come back to the outside, or at least initially give that outside step. The receiver really doesn't do that good of a job getting to the outside initially. And Gardner, again, does a good job. Gets his hands on this receiver to really slow him down, lets him go after 5 yards, and sticks with him. Hands on the receiver, sticks with him, and just runs the receiver's route for him. I mean, the quarterback's not taking that risk right there. That's a great rep right there. All right, check this next rep out. You guys are going to see it's the same thing. He's going to be man-to-man on this wide receiver. There's no help. He's going to cover this guy, and he just does a really nice job reading, opening up his hips and just running with this guy. Now, obviously, the quarterback doesn't even test him, but this kind of holds true pretty much the entire game. Like, he hardly gets tested, and he does get tested a couple times, and we'll obviously bring those plays up. But I mean, what quarterback is going to take this throw? At that point, that's a 50-50 ball, and chances to complete that pass, that's pretty low. It's a really nice rep. Let's get into the next one. Jameson Williams, and you're going to see Gardner just lock him down. And again, this is nothing towards the young wide receiver. Gardner does this pretty much to everybody. And this wasn't a bad route by no means. You know, if you guys watch the route, it's actually a really nice route. He's going to set this up. He's going to stem it nicely. He's going to attack the corner. But the corner stays square, and this corner isn't scared to stay square. He can flip his hips really well. Williams is going to come to the outside and then come quickly back to the inside. He sets it up nicely. I mean, look at this. Gardner's just grabbing air at this point. He knows he's not going to be able to press. But what he does is he flips those hips super quickly, turns around, and then at the top of the route, maybe 6-7 yards downfield, he's going to get his hands on the receiver just to slow him down a little bit. But at this point, like, there's no room for the quarterback to throw it. Like, he has to shut down. And the quarterback wisely just takes off running. Really nice play by the quarterback. An even better play, in my opinion, by the cornerback, who's able to just stick with the wide receiver and not really give any room for the quarterback to throw the pass. Again, really solid play. Let's jump into the next rep. It's a very interesting rep from a technical perspective. When Gardner gets his hands on you, it's lights out, man. It really is. And I remember talking to a scout about his ability to press and how disruptive his press is. And people are saying that the reason why he's going to be a top 10, potentially a top 5 pick is because of his ability to press. Now, obviously, as he gets into the NFL, he's going to have to learn the game speed, but there's not a lot of wide receivers in the NFL that are going to be able to beat him off the line of scrimmage. Of course, you know, you have the Devontae Adams and the Tyreek Hills who are super quick off the line, but 99% of wide receivers are not as quick as those two guys or as good at getting off the line of scrimmage as those guys. Right? A lot of people use their routes and their ability downfield to really separate. But you look at Gardner here and look at how he's going to get an inside step first from this wide receiver. And he doesn't panic or fold. He's going to actually open up his hips to the right side here. He's going to allow the wide receiver go to the inside, but the receiver is going to come back to the outside. And from there, Gardner's going to get that press on him right there. Boom, you get your hands on the receiver. At that point, the receiver is not going to be able to do anything. I mean, look at this right here. He literally rerouted this wide receiver. That is the type of impact that this guy has. On this next rep, you guys are going to see him at the top of your screen. He's going to read, react, and just make the play. This is a really nice play right here. He sees it, calls it out, and is able to get up there and help make the tackle. It's a pretty nice job. Jumping forward into the next rep, same thing. You're going to see him at the top of your screen. This is a really nice play if you guys watch it from the start to finish. I kind of want to break it down and just kind of get into it a little bit. Again, it's interesting because he's playing off coverage against Jameson Williams. And in my opinion, Williams kind of has him beat slightly. If you guys watch the route at the top of your screen, Williams does a great job running routes. Superstar wide receiver in my opinion. So as he's running this route, he's going to come to the inside slightly, cut this to the outside, and boom, hit him with that double move. And honestly, Gardner falls for it. As the play continues, he's going to start going to the inside, and then he's going to cut to the outside, and Gardner falls for that outside cut, and then the receiver just takes it back upfield. And he misses getting his hands on Williams. And honestly, if the quarterback isn't pressured, or if the quarterback's able to just throw this ball far out there, you know, maybe to the 30-yard line, this could potentially be a touchdown. Gardner is beat, but that's okay. Everyone gets beat. Let's not act like Jalen Ramsey didn't get beat by Mike Evans. Let's not act like Darrelle Revis didn't get beat every now and then. But the fact that he was still able to make up, and the fact that he turned his head around and knocked the pass incomplete is what I like right there. On this next rep, you're going to see him at the top of your screen. This was a play I showed earlier. Basically, he's going to get off the line of scrimmage, get up there and make the tackle. This tackle, again, is made on Jameson Williams, who comes out. The quarterback throws it to him. You know, these type of plays go for touchdowns, right, with superstars. And if Gardner misses this, the only guy left is this guy way up here at the top of your screen. That could potentially be a touchdown. Again, I promised you guys that I was going to show you guys every single rep from the Alabama game that, you know, either in pass coverage or the impact that Gardner had. At this point, I know it's probably getting a little repetitive, but it's the same thing. Here once again, at the bottom of your screen, he does a good job just honestly, at this point, he's really just reading the wide receiver. He doesn't even touch him, and he's just reading and reacting and just running with the receiver. That's a really nice rep right there. And again, these are the types of things he continuously does. One of the reasons why I love watching the all 22 tape is because there's plays like this right here that you don't see unless you have the all 22 tape. Check this play out. You're gonna see the quarterback put his guy in motion, and what that's going to do is basically, as the guy goes in motion right here, you're going to see that the corner is going to come down, which means that this is going to be zone coverage. Now, here's the thing. There's two types of zone coverage. Gardner could either be playing some sort of cover 3 where he's going to just run back. Alternatively, he could also maybe not be playing a cover 3. Maybe this is man-to-man. They just aligned it in the zone concept. But regardless, you're going to have a running back come out of the backfield and do a wheel route. Now, they're trying to read basically what Gardner's going to do. And in this play, Gardner is not only going to get his hands on that tight end right there, but then he's going to get off that tight end and then pick that wheel route up. And the running back at this point is covered, as is that tight end, and the quarterback's going to then shift his focus back to the right. Good job by the quarterback still finding the guy wide open. Gardner is going to be a special player in the league. Jameson Williams versus Gardner, one-on-one, no safety help. Who wins this rep? You guys know it's going to be Gardner. He's a really, really, really good football player. I mean, look at that. Look at that rep right there. Let's just back it up a little bit and read it. Williams does a nice job getting out of his break. He kind of hesitates a little bit too much. And I think this is kind of what Gardner does, right? Like when he's going to be pressing you all the time, and then when he decides not to, as a receiver, you kind of hesitate because you didn't catch that press. Like the receiver he's kind of scared right there, right? Like that's some hesitation in my opinion. And then he's going to then just get out of his break, and at this point, you've already pretty much lost your rep. You're not going to be able to beat Gardner, and he just sticks with him. It's a really nice rep, and again, special player making special plays. An interesting note at this point, you basically have Ahmad Gardner just following around wherever Williams is lining up. If he's lining up in the slot or out wide, Gardner's just following him. Another rep, you're going to see Gardner win. Again, this is why, and again, he's also being mocked high, right? And that's for a reason. Now, he has a little bit of safety help at the top, but you can hit the wide receiver running this seam. You don't have to throw this ball deep. At a point, certain quarterbacks would throw this ball right now to the inside here. And that's potentially a completed pass, especially with the safety kind of eyeing down towards the right here of the field. But Gardner does a good job. I mean, look at this. Once again, he's going to just run with Williams, and he's just running stride for stride. You know, some people complained a little bit about his 40. I think he ran a 4.47. But that's pretty good right there, man. Keeping up with that wide receiver who ran a really, really fast 40. Really solid job by Gardner. Let's get into the next rep. You're going to see Gardner at the bottom of your screen. Once again, this is that same play from earlier. He misses a tackle. You can't have this. Now, I understand this is definitely a different running back. This is not, this isn't Tulsa's running back. I'm not saying Tulsa doesn't have good players, but this is an Alabama back, first, second, third round pick. And again, I would like for him to wrap the legs. And he doesn't. He goes kind of high. He doesn't have a good aiming point. And you're not going to make tackles that way. I mean, this could have potentially been a touchdown if this just gets blocked correctly by this guy. You can't have corners not be making tackles in the NFL. It's just not possible. Now, at the top of your screen here, you're going to get a receiver / tight end that kind of gets physical with Gardner as he runs his route. And Gardner matches physicality. It's a pretty nice job right there, just matching that physicality. This guy comes out of his route, and he's just trying to bulldoze through Gardner. And he's trying to throw Gardner to the side. And keep in mind, tight ends do this. Travis Kelce, Darren Waller, they run through people and they push people the way this guy is. He's trying to push Gardner out of the way. Look at how he uses that right arm to push him. It's not going to work, man. This guy's big, he's lengthy, he's long, he's sticky. He's just one of those type of players. On this final play, you're going to see that you're going to have Gardner against Williams, but he's going to get off Williams and then pick up number 7 here. This is a nice little switch scheme that the safety and Gardner have. They're really confusing to the quarterback. He does a good job getting his hands on this receiver and then just running with the receiver who's trying to run this out route. The quarterback isn't able to get him the ball. But that's a nice job from the jump to be able to switch and then basically go from switching and then shutting down the guy you switch off of. That's a really nice job right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. It was definitely way longer than I expected. Sometimes I have videos in my head where I say, I'm going to stick to a video 5 minutes, 6 minutes, put the production in, do all the good stuff that some people love. But then there's just some players, man, you have to really get into it. You really have to go through the tape And that was the case here, man. I had to go through the tape. I had to go through every single play. And at the end of it, Gardner is a top 5 pick, man. If a team doesn't take him in the top 5, he'll be gone in the top 10. Either way, I'm excited. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time with another video.